Also, unrest and economic uncertainty in Russia has kept some businesses from investing there. But we have the head of one company who's betting big on Russia. He's got some very interesting money-making reasons why. That's coming up. Ukraine and Russia have agreed to cease fire, but the EU is warning that further sanctions will come if Russia does not abide by the terms.
So as the uncertainty continues, many investors and a lot of companies are simply running away from the country, but not everyone's running scared. Mobile gaming company Tapinator is betting big on Russia right now. The CEO, Ilya Nikolayev, is joining us now. Tapinator, and you've got a bunch of games, and you're saying, forget it, I'm Russian, I can figure this out, and my business will not be subject to sanctions?
Sure. So I'm Russian indeed, and Tapinator as a company launches games globally, right? So we operate on the iOS, Google Play, and Amazon app stores. And when we launch a product, we launch it not only in the U.S. and in geographies like the U.S., Canada, et cetera, but we launch in Russia as well. And for a number of our most recent games, Russia is one of the top 3 geographies. So it's a big market for the company.
Well, and also your labor costs must have been going down tremendously as the ruble crashes and the dollar gets stronger. You're paying a lot of Russian programmers. It's easier to find and cheaper to pay them.
That's exactly right. We have a team based in Russia, and to your point, as the ruble has declined, it becomes easier to work with those folks. And our dollars are obviously more valuable, right? So it's a great opportunity in terms of finding talent. And Russia certainly has a lot of great programmers, great developers, especially as it relates to mobile gaming.
Okay, on the screen we say you have 2 million Russian users of your games. How many of them are paying?
So as you know, in terms of freemium, which is the primary model that we focus on, where a user downloads the product for free and then uses in-app purchases, it varies based on the game. In general, the U.S. monetizes better than countries outside of the U.S. But, good 1 to 2% of the Russian demographic will pay for in-app purchases. So it's a viable market.
Your most popular games, Trucker Parking, Angry Shark. There's also Trucker War, right? War Trucker, Snowblower. Which are the most popular in Russia and which are the most popular here? So
in general, as it relates to the Russian market, military themes and driving themes definitely resonate, as you may recognize. And in terms of U.S. products, we've had a few games that were featured last month. A game called Combo Quest, which is our first role-playing game. A game called Endless Balance was featured in January as well by the Apple App Stores. And so the themes definitely differ in terms of what's popular in the U.S. versus what's popular in countries like Russia.
Let's talk a moment as to why they may be so popular in Russia right now. I would imagine there's so much going on there that people are concerned about and worried about. There's no better way to tune out than to focus in on one of these games like we're looking at. I mean, absolutely, it's much better even, I think, than looking at an old movie, because that might bring to mind some of what's going on. When you play one of these games, you tune the whole world out. Is that why they're so popular over there?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. It's a great pastime in terms of when times get tough, right? You could always pick up your mobile phone, play a game. I think, some of the themes that resonate, military themes, driving themes, are generally themes that the Russian demographic likes.
And they have the money to pay for this, despite the fact the ruble's value's gone way down?
Yeah, for us, based on what we've seen, it's still a viable market. In terms of user traction for some of our recent games, Russia is one of our top 3 markets, so it does well.
What are you launching in the next 30 days? Tell us.
So we're launching a video poker game called Video Poker VIP, which we're extremely excited about.
We just showed a clip of it, I think, yeah.
Yep, and so as we look at social casino, the social casino category in mobile, it's an extremely lucrative category, and most of those games have been slot games to date. So we're launching our first video poker product, and extremely excited about that product.
Ilya Nikolayev, Spasiba, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, David.
Appreciate
Thank you
being here. Tapinator is the name of the program, name of the company that makes all these great games.
They're making big money in Russia.